G-Man Boxing. Do you know what I mean? Every single live he donates. I see him on other lives donating. He's got the bag on it.
This one goes out to Dereck, the shithouse Chisora. You're running, Dereck, from the trilogy. Call yourself War, but you should call yourself Chicken. Because you're running from a trilogy from a career highest payday.
So that right there was Tyson Fury basically calling Dereck Chisora out, saying get the contract signed for the trilogy fight. Career high payday, he was saying. And Eddie Hearn did touch on something in a Boxing Social interview, it was last week, where he said, worse to the effect of, the money wasn't right. I mean, a part of me genuinely wonders, if Fury and Chisora, the two of them, are actually trolling the boxing fans with this, because the very notion that the Chisora trilogy fight is even some of the Fury fans want to see, that is beyond me. I mean, Dereck Chisora, the second fight was 2014. It will be 8 years this November. And that was an easy win for Tyson Fury. The very notion that 8 years later, people want to see that fight, especially seeing where Chisora is now in his career, the fact that his punch resistance seems pretty much gone, the fact that he had his first win, which was against Kubrat Pulev. That was his first win since he beat David Price back in 2019. He's got 12 losses. Right, and as well as that, WBC would rank him, of course they'd rank him, but the very notion that for a world title fight as a trilogy fight, really, I can't get my head wrapped around that. Now, obviously, judging by what's being said, I wonder, is it just trolling? Maybe I'm reading too much in, but to me that just looks like a trolling kind of thing from Tyson Fury, and probably from Dereck Chisora, Eddie Hearn as well, because Chisora versus Fury versus Chisora 3, really, in 2022 for Fury's WBC title. I mean, at the end of the day, Fury is, I laugh at it and I say no one want to see it. It'd probably sell. He wouldn't do too bad if you think about it, because Chisora in London, certainly, probably not, globally, probably not in the UK, probably not as well known as Dylan White. Definitely in London he would be, he still does reasonably decent numbers in London. But Tyson Fury, if you get the right dance partner for him, I mean, that'll do big numbers in a big arena. Seriously, you could probably sell that as a trilogy fight in a big arena. Chisora give it the bravado, Fury give it the bravado, and people would buy it and watch. Irrespective of the fact that this fight to me is just, people would say like, Triple G Canelo 3, I mean, that's a trilogy fight where one guy is looking a bit worse for wear and the other guy is looking pretty good, and Canelo, it's like, yeah, but Triple G isn't completely shot to pieces. Triple G and Canelo is still a very competitive fight. It's still a fight where you could conceivably see Triple G winning. I personally don't, but you could conceivably see it, and the two of them will always bring a crowd. They'll always have a good little scrap as well. Whereas this is just like, no. The build-up will be fun, but no. The only fights at this stage I want to see Tyson Fury in are the winner against AJ Usyk, or possibly, and he's not going to do this, but taking on a dangerous contender, someone like a Frank Sanchez or Filip Hrgovic. And, especially Frank Sanchez. I would be very amazed if that fight was ever made between Fury and Sanchez. Because that fight right there, there's no need for Fury to take it. Frank Sanchez isn't the mandatory, obviously, and he brings nothing to the table. But just from a stylistic point of view, I'd find that fight extremely interesting at this stage of Fury's career, because Frank Sanchez can move. He's fast. He's a very, very good boxer. It's very good movement. I'd love to see how Fury would cope with that. And of course, obviously, Usyk versus AJ. Of course, or Usyk, the winner of Usyk AJ, of course. We want to see undisputed. If it's AJ, no doubt in my mind, next year, Fury AJ. No doubt in my mind. If it's Usyk, watch the space there. Bob Arum has hinted that maybe we'll get it. But I just found that video very interesting from Tyson Fury to make, saying Chisora turning down a career high payday. I mean, how much was Fury offering him? And how much did Chisora get paid against Kubrat Pulev? A couple of $100,000? How much was he paid for both Parker fights if he allegedly turning down a career high payday? I'm sure Chisora's probably looking at that and thinking, I'll have that if it's in a career high payday. I mean, his previous, you would imagine one of the white fights, maybe, yeah, probably one of the white fights, probably his career highest payday, probably since. But he's made a fair bit. A couple of extra million wouldn't hurt. Who knows? Just an interesting one. I said I'd do a little video, and I just found it interesting. And why not? A bit more time these days, more work on the channel, get some news out, get the boxing talk out. Got plenty ahead this week, stuff planned tomorrow, etc. All week. So why not chuck an Al Fury video in which we talk about him potentially fighting Chisora, Fury 3, Fury Chisora 3. Why not? Stick it in there. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Hope you liked it. Smash the like button if you could. I'll talk to these people. Peace.